A time sensitive update from the caveman. Well, I have to admit, I agonized for quite some time over the past couple weeks about the video that I published about market flashes warning, and there's a doji on the weekly chart. And I showed you how there's a doji on the SPY and on the Qs, and a doji, what it means as far as its indecision. And then the next week, I felt terrible because the market just blasted right past the doji and made new all-time highs. But then guess what? You have a little bit of patience and remember that the technicals do work, and you're putting the odds in your favor when you follow the technicals. And kablooey, this week, basically yesterday, almost everything was wiped out on one day, and here we are actually closing lower than the actual doji bar. So look at this. So here's our doji from a couple weeks ago. We closed at 661.82. Yesterday's close wipes out all the gains from last week and closes below the doji bar at 653.02. It looks to me like the market is rolling over for a few weeks. Now remember, this is a weekly chart, so these things take time to form up. But with this big bearish engulfing bar, see how the body of the bar just completely just swallows this entire previous candle, just swallows the whole thing like a giant bear eating a baby cow or something, you know. And so it completely swallows it up. That's going to shift the momentum to the selling. Based on what we saw on Friday, with the immense selling, we were down 2% at the close, and then guess what? Then Trump puts out another tweet, and it sells off almost another 2% after hours. So we're down actually a lot lower than the official close right now. So I expect that over the weekend the news is going to catch on, everyone's going to hear, and then Monday we'll probably see some more selling. Now, let me just caveat that by saying that one thing that I personally have noticed about the Trump administration, and you can go back and look at this, is they love to make announcements right at market close on Friday or right after markets close. And the whole goal is to let that information soak into the public so that by Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, people have had a chance to deal with all the emotions and all the worry and all the fear, and it actually kind of starts working its way through the system a lot faster. And then we may even see, it not continue on Monday because you've had a couple days to let people adjust. But let's just look at the news that came out when it about this trade war with China and how it impacts directly the bubble that we're seeing in the markets right now around AI and technology. It's purely a Chinese Communist Party financial attack vector against our financial system by strangling out the rare earth minerals that are being used to develop all of our high-tech products like circuit boards and microchips, and everything that's fueling this AI bubble right now is being strangled by the Chinese Communist Party because they basically have a 90-95% control on all rare earth materials in the world, mainly because they've dumped their own rare earths and squeezed out the competition, and they've taken all that all the resources and the refining in country into China, and now they're restricting those exports. And because our country and other Western nations have never strengthened their supply chains to be resilient to only one supplier, we're basically kind of left with our pants down, and we're going to have to deal with these guys. So this is going to cause some problems, but that's neither here nor there. You could have looked. I told you 2 weeks ago when that doji flashed, that was a warning sign, and it only took a couple weeks, and here we go. Okay, so let's look at the retracement levels real quick. I'm still showing 637 and 613 as our support levels. Anywhere in this range, I think, is where we'll find support. You also have this 20 moving average, which is very close to a support level. So this should be a very strong support level at 637 down to even 632 ish. So if I was in the market to buy, I do think this is going to be a shallow correction or pullback. I think that we're in a bull market and dips will be bought. So give it a week or so. Let's see how low it goes. But if you start seeing it hit 637 or even 640, that's a very good price to buy in at. And I don't know that I would wait for it to go much lower, because once it hits that support level, it doesn't stick around very long. It usually bounces off. But this could happen over the next week or two. So because it's a weekly chart, remember, we might see a week or two candle. It might even, kind of go sideways like this for a while before it actually starts turning back up. So just keep that in mind. But once again, I do believe the technicals have been telling us where this is going. If we can just watch and understand what it's telling us, then I think we'll all be better investors and traders.